Can you hear me, Carol?
Yes.
Okay. Because it was giving me an error, so sorry.
Sorry, I'm laying in bed.
That's okay.
I really don't feel good.
Oh, you don't?
No, I've had a sore throat since I've gotten home from New Orleans.
Oh, man, that's been a while.
So, I know.
I'll feel better.
I know, and it throws my stupid blood level off, and I have to they have to change my INR, my Coumadin all the time. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's not cool.
Yeah.
We'll feel better.
So I've been running to yeah, thanks.
I know we were wondering last night, I'm like, where's Carol? And I never messaged you, and I don't know if you messaged me, but my messenger's full right now.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it might just be me and you.
I have to make it. Okay, I have to make I have to make a delivery to do this afternoon. So.
Oh, gee. Well, take it easy though.
Yeah.
Lots of fluids and get your rest.
Yeah, I know. I've been drinking the Fiji water.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, with the electrolytes in it. So.
Well, I took notes of what we kind of talked about so I could hit the main points for you, and then I'm also recording this so that way anybody else that was, not able to make it, they get it too. So if you have questions, just ask me, okay?
Okay.
All right. So one of the biggest things we talked about that we all as a team need to do better, and it was actually Jessica Blodgett brought it up to me, including myself, that I need to do is team shout-outs. So more of like a recognition for certain people on our team and not always the same people. Because, there's always the people that have like the top in sales and the top, but to start hitting recognizing people for other things. Like maybe they went live for the first time ever, because you know how scary that is.
Yeah.
While I talk to you, I'm just going to.
Yeah, both my girls.
Because I can hear myself and it's making me.
Yep.
But then if you have a question, like raise your hand. I put you on mute. So just go like this if you want to ask me something. All right. So good. So we talked about that and we brainstormed some other ideas of what to recognize people for. And one was just like, if you've been talking to somebody and you know they did something to get out of their comfort zone, that was a big one. So maybe they talked to somebody in person, or because you're talking to these people, so you know that they did those things. So, and you don't have to shout them out on your wall if you feel like it's something they wouldn't be comfortable with. Like, for instance, maybe they never post a selfie and they finally posted a selfie. So you don't really want to yell on their wall, hey, they posted a selfie. So you would do that more in like Flourish and Blot. So they still get that public recognition, but without feeling embarrassed that it's on their wall. But definitely use your wall to recognize them for definitely, color statuses. Maybe, we have the big ones like 10,000 in sales, but you can also do like, oh my gosh, this person has 2,000 in sales because you haven't recognized them for anything in a while. So then they feel recognized, because that's huge. And then that would go on your wall, because it's that attraction marketing thing for them and for you. If you're constantly like, I'm trying to make it, my goal is once a day to do some sort of a team shout out, whether for a group of people or for a single person. So that's on my 90-day checklist, is to shout somebody out at least once a day. And then when you do that, people start to see that and they're like, I really want to join her team. Like, she's always recognizing people. So it's kind of, that attraction marketing. Also, when we have someone join our team, we welcome them in the group, but we need to welcome them on our wall, because that's helping their friends to see that they are starting this up, and it's helping people see that you are having people join your team. So those people that you've asked, it starts to put that little, get the wheel turning. Also, kidnappers. We talked about that, about do you announce, a kidnapper on your wall? Yes, but in a different kind of a way. So I do the same kind of a post I do with when someone joins my team. I have their picture and the kit and like a welcome to Unique, and it's all in a little picture. And I say, thanks, Bobby Joe, for getting the best deal ever. I wish I could get this kit again, or something that it's like you're thanking your customer. So yeah, they're getting the deal, and you might be like, oh, I don't want to like, they're just getting the deal. They don't want to sell, but still shout them out as far as a thank you for the kit, because I had one month that I recruited 10 people and they were all kidnappers. If I would not have posted that, nobody would have known I had anybody join my team that month. And when you post that, it triggers that to get that going in somebody else. That's why I had 10. I got 5, and then people were like messaging me, what's this kit like everybody's getting? What is that deal? Because you keep talking about this really good deal. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, and then you get that conversation started. So posting the kidnapper welcomes on your wall. I wouldn't say they're a kidnapper or welcome this kidnapper, but if you make it more like welcome, you don't have to say welcome. You could just be like, you know, thank you, whatever, for getting the best deal ever, something along those lines. Good. I see you shaking your head, so I'm going to keep going. Then we talked about an incentive that I'm going to start doing for the leaders. So we're always going to have our meeting on the last Thursday of the month at 6 p.m. But if you can't make it, that's okay. I'll still always do the Zoom the next day to do like we're doing here. But here's the incentive, and you don't have to be present to win, but you have to submit your assignment by 6 p.m. if you can't come on Thursday. So we talked about mapping. So if you don't know how to map out your month for the next month, let me know and I'll send you a video, okay, on how to map it out. But I want you, like everybody, to map out their month for the next month. So like right now, everybody should be mapping out their month for September, because we're supposed to do that last week, but we're just getting this kind of going. But when you come to the meeting, and that is, say it while I'm on here, for the September meeting is September 28th at 6 p.m., so the last Thursday. So when you come to that meeting, you're going to bring your piece of paper that has you and your goals and your team and the mapping, how it's mapped out. And that way I can make a copy of it, so I have a copy of your goals as well. If you can't make it, just email me a scanned copy by 6 p.m. because at the meeting, I'm going to draw a winner from everybody that has submitted to me their maps. And what it is going to be an incentive that's not for you. Okay, so if you win it, it's not for you, because as a leader, I want you to take that incentive and use it as an incentive for your team to hit those goals. I don't care how you do the incentive. If you win, you could do qualified by the 5th of the month, or recruit 3 people, or get an entry for every group, whatever you want to do with it. But then I want, like, that way when you come to the next meeting, you can say, here's what I used it for to give everybody else ideas, and here's who won. So it's just kind of, I'm trying to make it more of a leadership incentive than like a personal incentive. So, okay. And then organization, I talked about 3 things that I always make sure I have now that I'm finally getting organized. It took me a hot minute to get there. So planner, we talked about having a planner that you use. I think pretty much everybody knows that. But here's what I do that's a little different than other people. So I have a journal. The journal is for note taking. I take it to, this journal comes with me to every training, convention. I mean, this sucker I've had since the beginning. And so like when I go to my Las Vegas event, I take this because I want all my notes that's for personal development or training in one spot. I don't want to take 10 different notebooks and have notes of other stuff. And then I'm like, where was that? I know all my notes are here. If I'm watching a video on a training, I pull this out and I will write at the top who the person was, what their status was, or if I went somewhere, you know, Cincinnati training or whatever. So I can easily go back and find that stuff. So that's what that is. I do not make lists in here. I don't write my customers in here. It's just for notes. Then I have, so it seems like a lot, but really it's not. I have like a small notebook. It's my college, but I always make sure I have a small notebook. I will go through these and they get tossed because the stuff in here is not worth keeping. It is the stuff that I have with me every day. A customer wants a sample of something, I jot it down. A customer wants to buy a mascara, I jot it down. Then I can mark on there when I've sent them the invoice, when they paid, and when I've sent it to them, I can mark it off. It's just a place to jot notes. Or if I'm like, oh yeah, I need to do that today, or I've got somebody wants to have a party, I can jot it down. I put my meeting notes in here. These are notes for me that I'm going to say, and I'm not going to need them anymore. So when this notebook's full, instead of having notes all over the place, this one, trash, get a new one out. If there's something important that you're not done with, just jot it in the new notebook. That way, instead of having 50 million notebooks like I used to have, I have the 3. The planner, the journal, and the scratch pad, basically. So that has helped me. And then we talked about one other thing, and this is kind of an option of what you want to do. How do you keep up with who you have to follow up with as far as customers and presenters? so you don't lose, and prospects, people that haven't joined or haven't bought, but you've been working on them. I use Teamsy. It's online. It does cost money. To me, it's well worth it. It's helped me. It's already paid for itself by the people I've followed up with that I never would have followed up with. But if you want the free version, or you feel like you don't have that big of a customer base yet, we talked about the customer service book, which there are 3 videos by Michelle Carrier that she has, 1, 2, and 3, on how to do the customer service book. Really, the only part that's important is like your presenter part, your presenters, and your customers. The other stuff is okay, but if you really want to focus down, those are the important parts. For me, paper and pen in that book, and just having so many customers and being able to keep up with it, I just couldn't do it. And Teamsy was my way. So I'm leaving that one kind of like what you guys want to do. If you want to do the customer service book, or you want to do Teamsy, but I highly suggest doing one of those. Okay, then I closed my notebook, so now I got to find that. Okay, so that was what we talked about, organization. Then we talked about the 90-day push, the 90-day challenge that I think, are you in that, Carol? Okay, that's okay. Do you have the checklist? Okay, I think that's just important to use that checklist. Try to do your own 90 days. Like when you're ready, you can start it up whenever. We talked about not overthinking it and trying to, you can still keep it simple, do power hours, knock a bunch of it out. If you have it on paper, you can just start checking it off. We talked about scheduling posts. So like today I use SendShare, and I already scheduled like 3 of my posts. So I don't even have to think about it. If I'm busy, that is already checked off. Those are done. Then we talked about the parties, having 10-day parties that run over. So I do them on the 1st and the 15th. So that way I have a couple-day break before we go into that next set of parties. But you're still covering the whole month with 2 10-day parties, because that's 2 sections of them. I've got 14 going on this, starting on the 1st. So now as I'm messaging people to get parties, I'm starting those on the 15th. So we talked about that. We talked about having team chats with your teams, whether you did a Facebook group chat, and not worrying about the kidnappers in those, but more of the people that that really are running for it. So that way it keeps that small and not where people want to leave the group because of notifications. We talked about Marco Polo, and we talked about doing one-on-one Zooms. So Carol, like you and I are right here. You can do this with any person on your team, and you can share your screen. So if you have a new presenter join and they don't live anywhere near you to get together to kind of get them going, or you don't have time, you can have a new presenter, a little powwow with them in here. It's free. And I think if you have one person, it doesn't ever shut you down like it does when we have a whole bunch of people after 40 minutes. So you can talk as long as you want. You can see each other, and then you can share your screen, show them the back office, show them how to start a party, show them where their university is. So that's really helpful, especially for if you have somebody who really wants to go for it, but they don't really know, they really need some help as far as kind of learning the tricks of the trade. We talked about messaging people on your team at least once a month, even just a check-in. You don't have to message them multiple times, but at least pop in, see if they need anything, show that you're there, because I'd rather somebody that annoyed that I messaged them and ignore me or whatever than somebody that really could have used the help and I totally didn't reach out. So I've kind of thought about it both ways. If obviously I'm annoying them, they're never really going to work their business anyway. So I don't really care. Block me, delete me, whatever. So then we talked about other questions, ideas, and they just started sharing ideas about different things they did. So any questions? I'm going to unmute you. That was just a quick rundown.
Yeah. No, I don't have any questions. Everything you said was good. So I'm in touch with both my girls that I have on my team, pretty much every day, or, at least once a week with Wendy, because I don't know if you saw her daughter cut her hand yesterday.
No.
She had to have surgery today.
Oh,
so
gosh.
yeah, she had, she cut through the tendon and the artery and all that kind of stuff. And her heartbeat went down to 40. And she went into shock and all that kind of stuff.
My
So,
goodness.
yeah. So, and I think she's on her team too.
I think, yeah, she has a daughter that's on her team.
Yeah. So, she has that going on too. Plus being both my girls are teachers. Well, Leah works at, Rhodes or whatever it's called.
College.
So, yeah. So right now is not a good time for both of them. So
Right. Time
there's,
to recruit new.
yeah, I know. That's what I'm doing. I'm working on it. I'm challenging myself to go live every single day. Even though I'm sick, I'm still going to go live today.
Good. That's part
So,
of like our 90-day
yeah.
thing. So yeah, if you can start making that thing, you'll start to see more and more viewers, and people you don't know are watching.
Yeah. And then Liz yelled at me. She's like, Carol, you're not on the world. You got 2 people showing. Look at mine. I got the world. You got to have it open.
Have the world.
And I'm like,
Oh,
oh, I thought I was.
public. Yes, you need to have
Yeah.
it public. So that's good to see.
Yeah. So she kind of went on there and yelled at me.
Hey, some tough
So,
love helps.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah. But
good.
yeah. So, yeah. I think I got it pretty much. Uh, I have people messaging me all the time. I have that girl over in Ireland I'm working with. She's been liking a lot of my posts and stuff like that. So I'm hoping, and I asked her if I could send her a, a mascara, and she did get back with me. So I don't know if she's nervous about that or what, but
I
I've
did
been like,
that before. I sent a mascara to a girl in Australia, and she did join. She never really did anything with it. So I thought, all right, I got one. But
yeah,
yeah, you never know. It's worth a shot.
yeah,
And what was I going to say? I'm thinking about I've been kind of brainstorming this morning of another incentive for you guys as leaders to try to branch outside of Ohio, because all of my leaders are in Ohio, and most of our teams are in Ohio. Now, like, I have people in different places, but majority of our teams are based in Ohio. So I'm trying to come up with something to get everybody to kind of work on, getting outside of that. And I think that'll help everybody's businesses grow. Some people are overlapping on top of each other as far as customers and people that they know. So I think it just might
right.
be nice to try that. So I think I'm trying to think of something maybe by next week or maybe by today. You never know. I'll post
I
something.
know, because with me and Amber being cousins, it's like we're, you know, a lot of people we know. Where and then when I try to friend people, I look to see if there's anybody and their friends that are unique presenters,
Yeah,
or if I know that they are unique presenters, I won't friend them. So
that's what I do
if
too.
yeah, so I try not to do that. So I don't want to like take anybody's
So
friends.
I've been, how we add new friends all the time. I'm trying to add in other countries and other states. Like, I intentionally go looking for, like, I have some groups I'm in, so I'll kind of click people's profile and I'll check them out, and I'll maybe comment on some of their posts, and then I'll send them a friend request. So, yeah, just trying to make those connections outside of Ohio, even outside of Indiana and Michigan, because I feel like there's even a lot in that
Yeah,
area.
I've been hitting Mexico hard.
Yeah,
So yeah,
Mexico.
so
I was doing a lot in the UK. I have a girl on my team in
yeah,
the UK, so just thinking
yeah,
outside of that
yeah.
box.
And Canada, I've been hitting Canada hard
Good.
too, and Germany, because I have a my aunt's German, so her brother lives over there, so
Oh,
I have
cool.
yeah, I have somebody over there that I know, so I
Yeah.
can.
And if you're friends with him on Facebook and you add like the women friends that he has, they'll at least see there's a mutual friend, and they're more likely to add you than just a random.
Right, and they did.
Good.
So yeah,
You're doing all
yeah,
the
and
right
they've been
thing.
liking my posts too. So
Yeah.
yeah, so
The
yeah,
main thing
that's
is
good.
just consistency at this point. It'll grow, it'll happen as long as you just
Yeah,
keep doing the things. So yeah.
yeah, yeah. I know. I paid off my credit card. My Tom made me put my credit limit down because it was up high. He's like, just put your credit limit down some. I'm like, okay, I'll do that, but it's still maxed again. But I like to gamble a little bit. I hit $600